A man sits alone in the snow on Christmas Eve, tears freezing on his cheeks. He's worth millions but feels worthless. Then a 4-year-old girl changes everything with a handmade gift and 3 simple words that will save his life. This is the story of how the smallest act of kindness can resurrect the most broken soul. If you believe in the power of human connection and healing, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that remind you no one has to face life alone. The snow falls in crystalline whispers as the city transforms into a winter wonderland. In Riverside Park, where golden lights dance among frosted branches, sits Adrian Cole, CEO of Meridian Capital Visionary, and tonight, a man drowning in his own success. His perfectly pressed suit can't shield him from the weight crushing his chest. A year ago, Christmas Eve meant warmth. His mother's kitchen filled with cinnamon and laughter, her gentle voice reminding him that success without compassion was hollow victory. Margaret Cole had been his anchor. His conscience, the one person who could reach past his carefully constructed walls. Shed died believing he would slow down, breathe, let people in. Instead, he'd buried himself in work until his humanity became an afterthought. The bitter wind cuts deeper than any board meeting. His phone buzzes another missed call from his assistant about tomorrow's merger, another deal that would add millions to his portfolio, while subtracting pieces of his soul. As he stares at the towering Christmas tree, its lights mocking his darkness, he whispers to the frozen air, "Mom, I don't know how to stop feeling this way." A sound shatters the silence, tiny feet racing through snow. A little girl no more than 4 barrels toward him, clutching a lopsided gift. Her emerald dress catches the lamplight as she studies him with unfiltered curiosity. Her dark curls frame eyes that seem to see right through his facade. "Why are you sad, mister?" she asks, tilting her head like a concerned bird. Adrian blinks. When had anyone asked him that question without expecting a quarterly report? "I'm not sad, sweetheart, just thinking." She pats his knee with mittened hands. Thinking makes faces like that when it's sad thinking. "My daddy says sad thinking is just lonely thinking." She scrambles onto the bench beside him as if she belongs there. "My name is Marina. This is for you." She thrusts forward the handmade package with the determination of a tiny revolutionary Marina. A woman emerges from the snowfall. Sophia, perhaps 35, with kind eyes and a protective stance. Her dark hair is dusted with snowflakes. "I'm sorry," she gets excited about everyone. She extends a hand apologetically. "Sophia Vale, and you are?" "Adrian Cole." The name usually commands attention, respect, fear. Sophia merely nods politely. Marina has already noticed his tears. "Mama, he's crying, he's not crying." "Honey, sometimes people's eyes get wet when they're tired." But Sophia's tone gentles, recognizing something in Adrian's expression. "No," Marina says with the absolute certainty only children possess. Hez, sad like Daddy, was sad before he went to heaven. Sad in his heart. She pats his arm with fierce tenderness. "Here, this will help. What follows changes everything." Instead of hurrying away, Sophia sits on the other side of the bank. For the first time in months, someone simply sits beside him. Not to negotiate, not to impress, not to extract something. Simply to exist in the same space. When Adrian opens the gift, he finds a paper snowflake crooked with ragged edges and glue spots tied with mismatched ribbons. "I made this for people who look lonely." Marina whispers, "That means they need the most love." Sophia explains gently, "She's been making ornaments all month. Says she can spot people who need extra Christmas magic." She smiles at her daughter with infinite tenderness. Marina believes everyone deserves to feel special. What did your father mean about lonely thinking? Adrian finds himself asking. Sophia's expression softens. My husband David. He passed 2 years ago. He used to say that loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about believing you're unworthy of connection. He said the cure wasn't finding people, but remembering you're worth finding. She pauses, studying Adrian carefully. David was a counselor. He saw broken people as puzzles, needing different pieces, not problems needing fixing. For an hour, Marina chatters about reindeer and Santa, while Sophia shares stories about David's work, helping isolated executives reconnect with their humanity. Adrian finds himself laughing real full laughter. He doesn't know he's capable of anymore. He tells them about his mother, her garden parties, her ability to make everyone feel chosen. He speaks about the promises he'd broken, the isolation that had become his armor. You built walls to protect yourself from loss, Sophia observes. But walls protect you from everything, including joy. You can't heal by running from pain. She continues gently. You have to let kindness find you. Let people in. Marina has been quiet, listening with the intense focus of a small philosopher. Suddenly she stands and takes both their hands. We have to go to the big tree now. Daddy says good things happen under shiny trees. As they walk toward the massive Christmas tree, Marina swings between their hands, humming a tune that seems to chase away shadows. The cold doesn't bite as sharply. The lights seem brighter. For the first time in a year, Adrian feels accompanied. At the tree, Marina makes a request. Can we make a wish together? Like a team, they form a small circle under the trees. Glow. What should we wish for? Sophia asks Marina, closes her eyes seriously. I wish for new friends who need each other. Sophia smiles. I wish for peace and healing. Adrian closes his eyes, surprised by his own words. I wish to remember how to matter to someone. Walking toward the warmth of a nearby coffee shop, Adrian realizes he isn't walking alone. Marina chatters about tomorrow's plans while Sophia shares stories that make him laugh. In a season of giving, he's received the greatest gift, the reminder that even the coldest hearts can thaw. At the coffee shop door, Marina surprises him with a hug. See you soon, Mr. Adrian. Remember, lonely people just haven't met their people yet. Sophia hands him a card. David always said, healing happens in community. We run a small support group for people navigating loss. Thursday evenings. No pressure, but sometimes it helps to talk to others who understand. As they disappear into the night, Adrian looks at the card, then at the lopsided snowflake still clutched in his hand. For the first time since his mother's death, he feels something shift in his chest, not breaking but blooming. Later that night in the coffee shop, the barista Jamie approaches him. Rough night. Just different. A little girl reminded me that kindness exists. Marina. Everyone knows Marina. She gives away her crafts everywhere. Her mom volunteers at the shelter. They're like Christmas angels in regular clothes. How do you know them? Sophia helped me when I was going through my divorce. She runs that grief support group. They really do change lives. Adrian stares at the card, then at his phone showing missed calls from work. He makes a choice, deleting the messages. Do you know when the next meeting is? Tomorrow evening, but they're flexible. Sophia understands that healing doesn't follow schedules. Adrian nods, feeling a weight lifting. 1 week later in the support group room, Adrian sits nervously among 6 others. Sophia enters with coffee and tissues. Welcome everyone. New faces are always welcome here. Who wants to start one by one? People share their losses. A widow whose husband died in a car accident. A man whose son overdosed. A woman who lost her daughter to illness. When it's Adrian's turn, he speaks haltingly. My mother died a year ago. I promised her I'd slow down, take care of myself. Instead, I built an empire and lost my soul. Last week, a 4-year-old reminded me that I'm worth loving. The room nods with understanding. Grief isn't linear. Sophia explains, some days you'll feel progress, others you'll feel lost. Both are normal. After the meeting, Adrian approaches Sophia. Thank you, I haven't felt heard in so long. Healing takes community. You don't have to do it alone. Months pass, spring replaces winter. Adrian sits on the same bench, but now he's reading to Marina, who's joined by other children from the neighborhood. Sophia sits nearby, supervising, and they all lived happily ever after. Not because everything was perfect, but because they learned to be perfect for each other. Adrian reads, Mr. Adrian. Will you read to us again next week, every week if you want me? He's started a weekly story time for kids whose parents are going through grief. His company still thrives, but he works fewer hours, attends more meetings, and has found purpose beyond profit. Sophia approaches. You've found your people. More than that, I found myself, again. Your mother would be proud. I think she would. I kept my promise just differently than I expected. He looks at the snowflake now, laminated and worn smooth from handling. He kept his promise to slow down, to let people in. He learned that success without compassion might be hollow, but success with kindness can change lives. Marina breaks in. Mr. Adrian, can we make another wish under the tree? The old Christmas tree has been replaced by a spring celebration banner, but the sentiment remains. They gather in a circle. Marina closes her eyes. I wish for more people to know that it's okay to be sad and happy at the same time. Sophia smiles. I wish for healing for everyone who needs it. Adrian closes his eyes. I wish to never forget that sometimes the smallest gestures save the biggest hearts. As they break apart, Adrian pulls out his phone and makes a call. Yes, I'd like to set up a foundation. Call it the Margaret Cole Foundation for Grief Support. Yes, I'll be personally involved. No money isn't the goal anymore. Connection is. He hangs up looking around at his chosen family. Sophia, Marina, the other children, the community he's built from one child's random act of kindness, looking directly at the camera he speaks. Sometimes the smallest voices speak the loudest truths. And on that Christmas Eve in a world that often forgets to look up from its own rush, a little girl showed a grieving man that even in the darkest season, kindness can be the light that leads you home. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to our channel for more stories of hope, healing, and human connection that remind you that no one has to face life alone.